I don't know other than that.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, if we don't like we normally do, we just wing it.
Yeah. Oh, hey, viewers. We're kind of ready. You know what? I'm not even going to put up a lower third. Screw the lower third.
Yeah.
This is episode 44 of The Greatest Show, and this one's subtitled PDX to War.
Nice.
Now, war is
Ha.
war is the airline code for Warsaw, Indiana.
Ah.
Oh.
And PDX is for Portland. Woo! Because, ladies and gentlemen, guess where I am right now?
Warsaw?
No, I'm in Portland.
I'm in Warsaw.
Right, you're in Warsaw.
Gotcha.
You should also be in the PDX, though, Bob. I need you.
Warsaw and Portland.
Yes. For those that don't know, why are you watching episode 44 first? But I'm DJ Allen.
How about the other?
I'm cleaning the coffee maker that I don't know how to operate.
That would be Trisha.
Yep.
Now, me and Trisha are in the same location, although she's in the kitchen and I am upstairs. So, she's where a woman should be.
And I'm cleaning it.
Make me a sandwich.
I came down to make coffee and I found a huge mess, so I'm cleaning it up so that I can make coffee.
Nice. DJ, what are you eating? What is it?
Sea salted caramel corn.
Oh, plug the company, show them the bag. That's why I left it up there.
It's Poplandia.
Wow.
Because we're in Portland.
That's kind of cool.
The house that we're staying at is a half block away from a huge shopping district. It's an old house. It's like 115 years old or so. And so it's in a really old neighborhood in northwest Portland. I think it's northwest. And okay, and so if I were to just go outside, if I brought my hotspot and used my phone or something instead, if I walked a half block out from where we're staying, there's a huge, just lined with stores and restaurants for, boy, going in both directions, left and right, when you walk out of here for blocks and blocks and blocks.
Nice. Now, is where you're at now close to where these homes are that you were looking at?
No.
No.
They are nowhere near.
We can't afford the rich district. No, where we are in Northwest is on the west side of the river that separates the east and west side of Portland, and we're going to be living on the east side, another 122 blocks east from the river area. So
Yeah.
no, you're here.
122.
See, in the city, I used to live in Chicago, and you would say, like, that was distance in the city is blocks. Nobody seems to use miles. It's either blocks or here, where there's not so much of a defined block system, they go by time. It's about 20 minutes from here. Nobody says 20 miles. It's 20 minutes. But yeah, in Chicago, it was how many blocks was it away? That's kind of weird.
Well, I think in Bismarck we go by mileage more so. I think here, with it being such an easy grid to work with the streets, and with us not knowing anything about the area, I suppose we're going to do blocks.
Nice.
Because that makes more sense to us right now. But I think in the future it'll probably turn into more of a My brother lives, 30 minutes away from where we are, or 45 minutes on the bus, or what have you. So I think it'll probably turn into that at some point.
For the longest time, I could have told you how many blocks were in Chicago. I was only there for like the first 9 years of my life. But we knew how many blocks was to the post office, how many blocks was to the school. I mean, that's how everything was. 3 blocks that way and 2 blocks this way. I mean, it was all very gritty.
Gritty. Oh, hey, I'm gonna go share this on Facebook, by the way, folks.
Ooh, I don't even have Facebook opened.
Here, I want to show you something down here. Voodoo Donut.
Voodoo?
Yes.
Yep, Voodoo Donut.
Nice.
It's this really, really funky. It's a destination here. It's like famous, and they do some really crazy donuts there. I know in our box here we've just got a couple left. There's a one donut covered in Captain Crunch cereal.
Wow.
And one covered in Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And they all have interesting names, and I mean there's a line outside of it almost all the time to get in.
Voodoo donuts. That's pretty cool. Like Dough of the Dead.
They do an actual donut that's a voodoo doll. It's like I guess they call them bars here. We call them long johns. I don't know what to call them anywhere. But anyway, It's a longer donut, and it's got the little arms sticking out of it, and it's got the frosting on it like a face. And it's I think it's got a raspberry jelly on the inside, and then it comes with a pretzel rod stuck in it like a pin.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, that's the actual voodoo donut.
Yeah, I'm still setting stuff up here.
Okay.
All right, we'll go.
The link is ready to go though.
Ooh, I echoed.
We've been spending a whole lot of time exploring this place.
Because we are going to live here.
Most of our exploration has been on foot, so it's been in the northwest and the southwest area.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's too fast.
So, do you miss us, Bob?
Yeah. I'm
When
hearing
when you asked me yesterday if we were going to have a show today, I hadn't originally intended to have a show, but I mean, we both have new MacBook Pros, and I thought, let's go ahead and do that.
I don't have that.
Oh, sorry. I have a MacBook Pro. She's got a MacBook Air. Hi, viewer that popped in and now is gone.
I'm gonna sit out back here, and behind me, those are bamboo trees.
That's awesome. Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
I'm still echoing. I put my little earbuds in.
It all started just a minute ago.
Yeah. If it's going to sound the same, I'm going to bother wearing this.
Don't worry, Bob. We love you.
Hey, thanks, man.
I'd want to move you out.
DJ seems to be the only non-echoer.
I think you're all crazy.
The bamboo's awesome. I want bamboo.
Yeah, it's really cool. I didn't realize. Oh, okay. I know it grows in the wild, but I didn't know that here was wild.
Right.
They also have holly, like what you see, little red berries in the kind of prickly green leaves.
Hmm.
There are bushes of that stuff growing here, and then they have magnolia trees.
Wow.
The backyard, sit here and pan around behind me. It's just all trees.
So it looks like most of the backyard is that deck you're standing on.
Pretty much. It's the deck, and then there are some like paver stones and stuff down there, so it's cement, and then around the trees it looks like ivy and dirt.
Somebody was going to hook me up with some bamboo to plant at my house. He grows bamboo. I've got one piece over here. It's used in a lot of the weapons that we use for amp guard. I wish I would stop interrupting me. How rude of me.
Yeah, we'll fix that Bob interruption of Bob, because nobody wants Bob to interrupt Bob.
I know.
Hi, Nico. Oh, I have an attentive puppy.
Maybe if I speak in small sentences.
You could sound like William Shatner.
With an echo.
Yeah, I don't have an echo, you two. I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe it's DJ creating our echo so he doesn't hear it.
Are you creating our echo?
I'm not creating your echo.
Stop saying everything I say.
I will try earbuds and see if it helps.
I tried mine. It didn't help at all.
Hi, Nico. You
I
would
mean, I can put mine on if you really want me to.
Everyone's doing it.
We'll see if this fixes it. Wait.
Yeah, well, if everyone jumped off a bridge, would I?
I probably would.
That is not again.
All right. I'm on earbuds. Do you hear me echo?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay, hang on a second. I'm going to go get my earbuds.
Ooh.
There's the puppy again. Oh.
Hi, puppy.
Sorry. There. Like, what do you got for breakfast? I'll have some. We've been told that it's kind of in entering the rainy season out here. Mm-hmm. Oh, that fixed it. No more echo.
Oh, yeah. It was your fault, dude.
Yeah, it was. Apparently.
Totally your fault.
Yay, it's my fault. Woo!
Yay. Which also means then that you're responsible for fixing it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it doesn't show up on the audio. Because, I mean, technically I'm the master of the show, which means I should get the... If I don't hear an echo, nobody else should, in theory.
Were you hearing it?
No.
Okay, so we heard it.
Right.
So it probably is your laptop, echoing the audio back to us.
Right.
Sorry, Nico, I can't share this. So yeah, we've been on the road traveling for the last week. But in our absence, we've been told by several people that our streets are paved around our house.
Nice.
So that'll be nice to go back to.
You're going to get back and you're going to like it so much you're not going to want to leave?
No.
Okay, unpack everything.
There is zero chance of that happening.
We looked at 4 places yesterday. 3 were places that we want to live, and 1 was the where you don't want to live example of horror. It was an awful house.
See, that sucks, because my wife just said to me yesterday, she's like, you know what, I changed my mind. Let's move to Bismarck, North Dakota. And I was like, oh, man, just terrible timing.
Right? Well, let's
move
see.
To Portland, Bob.
I mean, if you move If you move to Bismarck, then when we visit you, it'll only be a 20-hour drive, not a 36-hour drive.
Wow. That's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Through the mountains.
20 is bad enough.
So,
Well,
what you got on your hands there, Bob?
I got my claws. I just bought these yesterday. They're very, very, very awesome. And they're my Wolverine claws.
That must be why you're shaven, because you use them. Like,
Yeah.
because you definitely, yeah.
That would have totally sucked if I just jabbed myself in the eye with that when I was doing. But yeah, it's they're not adamantium, nor are they retractable, but they're really cool. I also have some nunchucks that I bought. They're the Ninja Turtle ones, and I'm really surprised by these nunchucks. $14. These were $10. The nunchucks are $14, and they're that heavy foam rubber. I mean, you can swing these things around. You can do the whole nunchuck thing. They're pretty impressive for a toy. And I'm sure that kids all over the country right now are getting the shit kicked out of them by their brothers from these nunchucks.
Or by themselves.
Or by themselves, exactly. I'm a little sad that they don't spark, but that's okay, I guess.
You can be, for Halloween now, Santa Claus. Actual Claus.
Yes, I totally could.
Hi, Kevin.
Is that how they market those? Santa Claus costume for
Oh,
Halloween?
Yeah.
Kevin has
Treasure
joined
Island.
us, Bob.
Hello, Kevin.
He's our viewer.
On our trip out here, we were in Spokane, Washington. Oh, we've been playing Ingress, Bob. Wow. Ingress is amazing anywhere but Bismarck. So we're playing Ingress in Spokane after we check into our hotel, and we're walking just randomly, you know, because we don't know anything about the place. And we take a turn down a street to go hack some portals, and we find a comic book shop.
Ooh,
Yeah.
So
like
in
hidden
fact,
treasure.
if it shows up, I have my T-shirt on today from the. It's called Merlin's. There we go.
Yeah, boobs.
That's why they print it there, right? So Spokane, Washington.
That's not in Braille.
That's for sure.
In that comic book shop, we discovered the TARDIS.
He's got the TARDIS in the back.
I seen the pictures on Facebook. That was pretty cool.
And I don't have my phone with me, but last night we apparently found a bar or something called the TARDIS Room.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was a portal, so I have a picture of it on my list. But maybe with that we can figure out what the address was and go find it. It was up in Northeast Portland.
That's impressive. You know, that show's been around for a very long time, and I'm glad that the world is now starting to get kind of involved in it, because it is a kick-ass show, and I know DJ, the classics are always going to be classics.
Well,
And
see, now I know where you're going. What you're going to say is that I'm going to have some sort of issue with the new fans. My issue isn't that people only like the new stuff. My issue is that somebody who's with the new stuff comes in and goes, "Oh, Christopher Eccleston, the First Doctor." No.
Their ignorance to the Doctor.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's my issue.
When we went to the zoo a couple days ago, we didn't plan this, but I had my Keep Calm, I'm the Doctor shirt on.
I'm going to take these off, or I'm just going to be...
Yeah, you think?
And DJ had his Weeping Angels shirt on, so...
Awesome.
So we were actually stopped by several people to be told that our shirts were very cool.
The Weeping Angels are like...
They're my favorite.
As far as villains go, a lot of people say that is their favorite villain. I would have to say between that and the Silence.
Yes, those are my two favorite. Definitely. I hear a trumpet.
I hear like a jazz band or something.
Well, it's Portland. It's possible there's a
Right?
jazz band playing.
Oh, we saw the coolest
That's pretty
thing
cool.
in Bozeman. We stayed in Bozeman, Montana one night, and we stayed on like their downtown area. We stayed on Main Street or something at the end of it, mainly because Main Street was littered in portals for ingress. See the theme of our travel here?
Yeah.
And so we walked down the street that night to play Ingress and to go find somewhere to eat. And we got to, a random spot on the sidewalk. We could hear music being played, and it was electric guitars, electric bass, amp, a drum set, all plugged in. It had the amps and everything there. And it was like these 10-year-old kids, and they were playing Hotel California. And they were amazing.
Huh.
I mean, the singing definitely sounded like a 9-year-old kid, but the guitar, wow. They nailed it. It was
That's awesome.
so amazing, and it was like there was a little group of people standing there listening to them, and it was just, in some random spot, this stuff set up, and they were playing music, and it was like it wasn't a weekend or anything. It was a weeknight while we were driving. It was like Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And very cool.
Hey, are you capable of following that link?
Yes.
I can't.
Okay, I'll totally screen share this.
Wait, I don't know what you guys are doing.
There is a comment here from Kevin Lama, our viewer, but we are unable to, I'm not able to click on a link, and you probably don't have the question answer thing up.
I don't know anything about that because this is the first time I've been on this podcast on a computer. Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't know how to do that. I'm on a piece of equipment I don't know how to operate.
Yeah,
On a program that I don't know how to operate.
So
Right.
those are the meeping angels.
That's pretty cool.
Kevin, that is awesome. Kevin, you are now our remote content producer.
So I
He's
got
the
bashed
research
in the
department.
head with a piece of steel the other day. Oh man, that was. Okay, definitely cross. If you have that on your list of things to do before you die, cross it off. You don't want that. That's bad.
Remove that from the bucket list.
Yeah, take it off. You don't want it.
So I should also probably remove gang rape. Being gang raped in prison should also be removed off of my list. Is that correct?
Yep.
I don't know. I haven't experienced it, but I wouldn't add it to mine. Just saying.
On my list, getting hit in the head with a steel beam or what you said was right above get toe severed with, blunt object. So.
Wow. Yeah. My boy was talking about a bucket list yesterday. He said, I'm going to get a bucket list, and I'm going to put on there, get a bucket. That's clever. And I go like, oh yeah, and make a bucket list. Right up top, bucket list, number 1, right list.
Get bucket, right list.
Man, he's
done.
killing it. Wow.
Cross 2 things off the list. I'm there.
Is there anything actually on your bucket list, Bob?
I don't think so. I don't think that I have. There's nothing about life that I need to do before I die. There's things that I want to do, but just things like I don't know. Nothing really.
You just want to have experiences in general.
Not really. I just
Nope.
kind of. I'm ready to go. I mean, like, whenever I'm done, and it's just if something happens between now and then, hey, I'll add it to my list of experiences. But I don't think that there's really nothing out there that no. People have things like see the Grand Canyon and stuff like that. It's like, well, when I decide to see the Grand Canyon, I'm just gonna do it. It's not one of those things that needs to be done. It's I don't know.
This is yarn, Nico. I'm still eating my scone, so I have an avid fan right now.
Of course.
Yes, you're my
So,
fan.
so normally when we're doing the show, Bob starts at about 1 p.m. because he's on Eastern time, and we start at noon because we were on Central time. Because we're in Portland, it's 10:30 a.m. right now.
And I've already finished my drink. Now, what this was is a complete collection of vitamins and minerals.
And vodka.
And vodka.
Wait, vodka or babka?
Babka. Huh.
Vitamin V.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was. She goes, "Hey, I bought you some orange juice." I'm looking at it, and it says orange juice, pineapple juice mix, and the little label said full of vegetable, and I don't know. It was good though. And like, well, something this good has to be enhanced with vodka. Yep. So I took like a sip of it, and then the rest of the bottle and part of the next bottle has all been mixed with mixed with vodka.
Uh-oh. The yarn. Oh, so to say the yarn's smarter than me. Can't find the end.
We went to a Vietnamese restaurant yesterday.
Me?
Yeah.
Day before yesterday.
Yeah. That sounds better.
I had the greatest drink I have ever had. I loved it so much I went and paid for a second one, and the second one was $8, and it was worth every cent.
What was it? Tell me.
It was called a Hello and Goodbye.
God, I wish I would have brought my phone with so I could look things up. I'll look it up online here, and hopefully my camera still works.
It was so good, Bob. Previously, my favorite drink was the vodka lime in the Pyramid Club in Okinawa, Japan. This one totally blows that one out of the water. The other one tastes like sewage compared to what I had 2 nights ago.
Here,
Wow.
we went to a place. Okay, well, for people who don't know and might care, my brother lives in Portland. He moved here 3 years ago. So he and his girlfriend are here. So we're visiting them in addition to hanging out here. There's one of those crazy birds. And so he asked if we wanted to meet at this Vietnamese place to eat, and it's called Luk Lak or Luk Luk. I don't know. It depends on who you ask to pronounce it.
It sounds like a
But
Pokemon.
It's Luclac.
Look.
And so it's this Vietnamese
Mecca Heiny Ho.
And I have zero adventure when it comes to eating because I'm boring. And my brother is the complete opposite. And so we went to this Vietnamese place with those guys, and they had a happy hour at that point. And so they had these small plates. And so you could get this little plates of food for $2 a piece. And so you could order, a dozen of them and share them. And so we got chicken on skewers and I think pork or beef. On skewer, okay, pork. And then we had the steak roll that was wrapped around vegetables, and we had green beans on one plate. And I mean, there's more adventurous things, but I stuck to the
It was pork. There's Vietnamese, so you went from feeding dogs to being fed dogs.
Well, actually, in the United States, I think it's actually pork.
Oh, never mind. It's probably pork.
The thing that I thought... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. I'm trying to look up the menu here so that I can tell him what was in your drink. And as we discussed, he was not a bartender, he was a mixologist, as Mary said.
And I would have paid $10 for that drink.
That's,
okay. The thing that I liked about Luk Lak, and I'm saying this because I think it's unique, and I actually think it's a great idea. You have to have your entire party there immediately when you order, because you order first and then you sit down.
Wow.
So if like last night or when we did this, Trish and I got to meet her brother, and we were waiting for his girlfriend. So we couldn't go in and say that she's on her way. No. If we'd ordered, she was all on her own then.
Wow. But she could still come and sit with you though, right?
No.
No.
They won't even let. Wow.
It's on the wall as one of the rules. If you don't like our rules, why are you here?
Right. It basically gave you the rundown, and it said make sure your entire party's here first. And then you place your order, and then they seat you, and they give you a number, and they bring you your food when it's done. And it did say on the wall that if you can't have friends join you and later, and you can't just add somebody on. So you do order your food, and then I was wondering, well, what if you're still hungry? They have a second area where you can order that's inside of the restaurant in the back, and it said to order more food or cocktails or drinks or whatever you wanted. So at least if you were still hungry, you didn't have to start from square A again too, because there's a line. This is something we're not used to. I mean, this place has as many people in the city as our entire state does. And so there's a population density here that I am not familiar with. And there's a line everywhere, almost all the time.
Yeah.
The remote content producer has told us that the hello and goodbye drink is a mixture of Bacardi Silver rum, roasted coconut water, and lime.
Oh, yep. And I had a drink too. It was a non-alcoholic one that I'm gonna find here, because it was also very out of what I would normally drink. Let's see here. It was. I can't find it now. It had ginger in it.
Oh, there was lemon in it too.
Yeah, and coconut water.
It was ginger ale.
Well, interestingly enough, that doesn't seem to be on their non-alcoholic drinks list.
I don't know if you guys have this. If you don't, I don't know why. It's the Mixology app. Now, that particular drink is not in here, but you can search by drink names, you can search by ingredients, you can search by categories. Liquor cabinet. You put in there what you have in your house, and it will tell you everything that you can make with it. It's got the random drink thing where it's a dice, you hit the dice, and it gives you a random drink.
Well, we also don't drink very often, so I mean, when we do, it's kind of now it's an event. So, like Bob, if when you move to Portland, Bob, we'll have a drink.
That'll be an event.
Here we go. This one here is schnapps and syrup. What the hell? Sam's Sweet. Never heard of it. This is a random one. So I shook it up because it says shake for a random drink. It's Malibu rum, schnapps, vodka, lemon, orange juice, pineapple juice, and grenadine syrup.
Oh, do you still have some juice left?
Huh?
Do you still have some juice left?
In the house, I got them in here.
No, I'm saying you can make that drink.
I totally could.
You want to go make your drink, Bob?
Burr cutter. Nah, that's alright. Bundaberg rum and Kahlua and milk. It tells you what kind of glass to put it in, like that matters a lot.
Right.
I tried what you're doing right now with the old knitting thing. Yes.
Okay.
Not much. I might have even told you about this. It was just the that I have a gnat out here. The wife was playing around with stuff. It's like, I want to see that. So I was looking at a YouTube video, and it said, okay, do this, then this, then this, do this, and this, and this. I was like, I could do that, and I did it. And so I went down and back and down and back, and I did this thing about this big, but it wasn't tight, and it wasn't like okay. And then I undid it, and I put it down, and I never touched it again. But I've got a whole bunch of artsy type stuff here that is considered not a guy thing, but like I want to do. I even have like, what do they call that stuff? Some of the cross stitch string
Oh,
stuff.
the DMC thread.
Okay.
Or embroidery floss, embroidery
Floss,
thread.
yes.
Okay.
I got
I mean, there's a lot of words for it.
I got a ton of stuff here that just because I want to try it just to see what it does. Because what I have is a head that can't stop fucking thinking, and I'm always like, I want something to say 1 hour a day. Just work on something that's gonna calm my mind. That's what I want.
You should crochet or knit yourself a nut sack.
Ooh, what would I do
Maybe-
with a second nut sack? A nut cozy.
It's a nut cozy is what it is, yeah.
Maybe DJ should call you high-strung Holly like he calls me, too.
Actually, I called her high-strung in
High-strung
several.
Heather.
High-strung Heidi. I had more names in the chute ready for you, and don't worry, I'll use them.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
so I believe that he would classify those needs the same as mine.
Bob, Kevin says that sometimes the glass does matter. Since our sense of smell is linked to taste, smell enhances the flavor of most food, plain chicken aside.
Now, that makes sense. Now, some of them, I could see that being the case, and some of them not. Like, they have some where it shows, like, a glass this big, and in others it shows the same glass, but bigger. And in my opinion, would you like more or less? Well, give me more, especially if it's the same price. Now, what is that light behind me? It's driving me nuts. Anyways,
It's like the light,
there's other
the light
ones
bulb.
like, yeah, I should probably turn that light off. I can see, like, there's some glasses that are made specifically for certain types of drinks because of the bubbles that it creates, or like the shape will enhance. Wine glasses are very specifically made wine glasses. They've got these beer glasses that have the big bulbous top, and that's for something about the bubbles, and I'm not exactly sure on how that works. But for the most part, when I'm mixing drinks in my home, usually what I have is my, well, bless you,
Thanks.
my drink cup where it's just got a big old skull on it. Now I've got my, she brought the Halloween stuff out, so here's my Halloween glass. There you
Cheers.
go. There's a
Cheers.
classic right
Clink.
there.
Wow.
I'm gonna kill one of these lights back here because I'm trying to go between like two of them, blocking them. And I see that
There you
I'm
go.
successfully
Perfect.
blocking.
Yeah, don't move, Bob.
There. Right
Hold
there.
that spot.
Oh, he's gonna burn his fingers if he's not shutting it off with a switch. Oh, thank goodness. Then we were gonna see Bob burn his fingers, and then Bob go to the emergency room, and then Bob peel his skin off.
No,
That wouldn't be fun.
I would like to point out that Bob used to iron his clothes for muster in the morning while he was wearing them.
Yeah, I did that.
Oh my God.
But you know, what was weird is the first time I ever did that, it was a big inspection, and there was all these people who they were watching me, all right, and it was a big inspection, and everybody had to be all ready and stuff, and they're looking at me like, "What the hell are you doing?" And it didn't take long before someone came over and I was just look, I'd be able to hold still, and I'd get them, and next thing I know, there was a line, and everybody was like,
Oh
we
my
had
gosh.
2 irons plugged in, and the entire damn room was coming. You know, they were all coming to us, and whoever was standing there would take the iron and iron the wrinkles out of the next person. Yeah, it didn't take long, and we're all doing it the same way. We're like,
Bob
Oh
was
my
such a
God.
dork back then.
I mean, it worked, and we all did it. And it just became the thing whenever we had a big inspection, because military works differently from a lot of things. If you get in trouble at work because you fucked up, you got in trouble at work when you fucked up. Military, if you got in trouble, quite often everybody was getting in trouble because not only did they do something wrong, but you didn't tell them they were doing something wrong. So you're just as guilty. You know, everybody had to look good, because if somebody didn't look good, that means you all failed.
Okay.
Yeah. The whole team effort thing.
You know, there is no I in team, but there is a me.
That's true.
I think Nico wants me to crochet him a hat. He
Or
is.
as Tom also said, there's no I in team, but there's 3 in individual.
Right. Confucius say, "Man who stands on toilet is high on pot."
Oh, Nico. Nico wants a hat. Nico. There's the Nico. There's the Nico.
He totally looked like that. He had this look on his face like, she's not making my fucking hat.
Well, wait till I stop petting him. There goes the paw. Right?
Oh my gosh, Romeo's the same way.
Look at the cute puppy.
Cute puppy. He's as old as our puppy. He's 14.
Uh-oh. Wait, I got a Romeo coming in here too.
Right at my feet.
Yep, there he is.
He was, I felt bad because I was trying to move my cord over and it fell, and I was trying to move the table all the way, and so like he was getting hit by things, so he stands up like, what the hell, man? So I get situated, I'm like, all right, you can lay back down, and he's just sitting there like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? So I took his blanket, it's just a blanket that I've got out here, and I kind of tossed it at him, and he immediately laid down on it. But it didn't take long before it came around and right there at my feet again. And I was like, damn it. So now, you know, have you ever tried to use a table that had a front on it, like a solid table as a desk where there's no room to put your feet under it?
No.
Oh.
No? Yeah.
I suppose almost like trying to sit at the countertop in your kitchen with the cupboards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where you'd have to lean forward in order to... It's the same thing. I mean, if you can't utilize underneath the table you're sitting at, you can't... You're not technically sitting at the table. So right now I'm sitting sideways.
Right.
Because the puppy's utilizing my spot.
Nico likes to lay at the front door. There's the stairway that goes up to the bedrooms. It has a landing because the steps turn in a couple different directions to go up, and he likes to lay on this landing with his head on the wall pointing towards the door because he can look out the window all day, the front door of the house. But the thing is that because he's old, they were saying he sleeps almost all day. He's only up for a couple hours a day, which is basically like our dog too. And so, and because he's partially deaf because he's old, he doesn't hear you if you're coming down the steps. So oftentimes when you come downstairs, you have to walk over this dog that's taken up an entire step or something. But you're always greeted at the door when you open it because he always seems to know when you're home. And all the lights here are on motion sensors. So even if he walks through the house, he can turn on the lights for himself. So he must really like that. So yeah, it's kind of funny because the lights will be off, and then all of a sudden he'll walk through, or he'll come out to the kitchen in front of me, and he'll turn the lights on. And
That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I think your situation is probably better than Bismarck too, but in Portland there aren't bugs.
Oh. No bugs. Just this time of year though, right? I'm like,
Well,
right now there's no bugs.
No, apparently
No.
there's hardly ever bugs here ever. Like,
Wow.
well, there are bugs, but none of them bother you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like in this forest that I'm sitting in, you know, in this damp backyard covered in trees, not a single bug of any type has been visible to me this entire time.
Wow.
And
That's
I just can't get over that because in Bismarck the mosquitoes swarm you so bad that you can't even be outside.
The mosquitoes leave me alone.
Not us.
I put enough garlic into my body that a vampire would be like, fuck this, I'm not eating blood. The mosquitoes stay away from me. Yeah, my wife, she'll get eaten up outside, and they don't bother me at all.
We
She's
were
sitting up there swatting at herself. I'm like, I don't, what do you, what?
we were taking a walk before we left, and in Bismarck, and we weren't even in a park or anything. You know, we were on a sidewalk. So granted, there was grass and trees around us, but there was also a road right beside us. And the mosquitoes were so bad that DJ walked about a foot ahead of me, and I would just constantly swat his back because at any given moment there were at least 10 of them just on the back of his shirt.
Wow.
I mean, it was like whack-a-mole. They were just back repeatedly. They just never gave up. So it's bad. And that was even after it had gotten cold enough out to freeze one night where everyone thought, you know, most of them should die off, but it did not happen. So yeah, here, like, on the front door of our house and the back door and everything, and on every person's door, you have a screen door. You know, a screen door and then your typical wooden door. And here at my brother's place and where we're staying, there aren't screen doors. They just, if you want the door open for some fresh air, you open the door. And you leave it open with no screen. In fact, even the houses that we looked at, now that I think about it, not a single one of them had a screen on them.
Nope.
So I don't get it. It's, yeah, very different. What's wrong, Nico? I can't pet you all the time. I can't do anything if I'm petting you.
That's the point.
That's like Romeo. He's the same way.
So we found a zoo here. It's 3 miles uphill walking because we walked.
Well, yeah, you don't have to walk to the zoo.
No, you don't.
But somebody made a horrible decision. He happens to be wearing a Hulk T-shirt right now.
Horrible decision.
Was it you?
Oh, yes, it was.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, yeah, it's 3 miles away, which isn't bad. We can walk 3 miles, no problem. And the reason we decided the walk might be nice is because on the map it also goes through a Japanese garden and a rose test garden. So roses are huge here. Like, I guess the climate is completely perfect for growing roses.
That's cool.
So there's even a rose bush at the house next to us that has amazingly colored, like these orangish pink roses blooming right now. Anyways, we're like, okay, well, there'll be cool scenery to look at while we're walking to the zoo. So yeah, let's walk. And Portland itself is a very flat city. It's not hilly until you get out of it because they keep all of their hills in the suburbs and the parks. So, like, they moved them from the city, and in this case, with the zoo, they piled them all between us and the zoo. It was awful.
Wow.
So yeah, we took a 3-mile hike uphill and got to the zoo, and then we had to hike around the zoo yet, and that made us tired enough and bold enough to finally get me on public transportation. And it's not that I'm scared of public transportation or the people on it. It's that I guess I don't know where I'm going, and that scares me.
Yeah, depending on other people.
And so what we ended up doing, they have an amazing transportation system here, and I'm guessing that since you're in a smaller town there, surrounded by smaller towns, you probably don't have public transportation there.
Well, here's the thing.
Or you kind of do between cities, or
we might, but I don't really know about them because
you have a car.
Yeah. There's a cabs type. It's a bus called Cabs that takes people, I think, which I only know about that because somebody was telling somebody that I knew who, like, couldn't drive. doesn't have a vehicle
Sure.
drive, but disability type couldn't drive, and I guess they have like these
We
sport
have
buses.
that. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have that in Bismarck. We have a larger busing system that has routes that will, take people all over town, a big huge bus. And then we've got these smaller buses that a friend of ours actually drives for, and they have clients that they serve for the most part that are wheelchairs or
Yeah.
unable to drive.
It's all like underground special group type stuff beyond that,
Okay.
There's a
Well-
bus station, but even that's like I'm going to ride this bus to another state or something. It's
Right.
not.
More like a Greyhound.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. So this place is, oh, Nico.
I have to say, before you continue, this show is great because I can sit here and eat and just listen to you two.
Yeah, there's public transportation here like crazy. There's different levels of it. There's an actual streetcar, like it runs on rails, and it has wires above it for the electricity to run.
Awesome.
So there's a streetcar. There's 2 different loops that these streetcars travel on. One goes north and south from where we are down to way southwest Portland and just barely across the river, and then the other one goes more east and west. And then there's
The CL stands for City Loop.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, I saw them the other day.
There's an NS and there's a CL. So yeah, those will go on a continuous loop. So you can get on it and then get off right where you started. And then there's a having a problem with your dog there.
Oh, terrible dog farts. Oh my god.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, funny. That's the word.
Especially since since I'm here. So then there's this second level of transportation that's also on rail. It's called the light rail.
Thinking my eyes will water. The light rail?
The light rail, and it gets you. A lot of them pass right through the city center downtown, but there's 4 or 5 different loops.
4.
4, okay. Nico must see something in the trees. And there's 4 different lines, and those will get you from the way north end of Portland down to the south end, and then crisscrossing into the suburbs. They'll get you from the suburbs into downtown and through it and everything. And then there's a bus, which travels way more extensively to way more stops all over town. So what we got on was a train line that went from the zoo. Well, the zoo was one of their stops, but then it kind of goes into the city center, and then it goes east and west. And we decided, well, let's just stay on it. So after we were done with the zoo, we get on this train, and we just take it, and it went out east, which was technically the direction that we knew we were going to be living in. So we're like, well, yeah, why not just take the train and look out the windows and play Ingress the whole time and see what we find. So we rode the train from the downtown zoo area all the way out to 144th Street until we finally got bored and then turned around and came back. But my brother's girlfriend, Mary, she, I guess, takes the bus a lot because she lives in North Portland and she works downtown, and it doesn't make sense to try to drive your own vehicle to downtown Portland.
Right.
So.
And I'm seriously not. I'm at this point. I don't think that I'll be driving in this town when I move.
At all.
At all.
I think we will. I mean, DJ wants to sell at least one of the 2 cars.
Hell yeah.
When we're here. I do want to definitely use the public transportation because it is easier. Well, I mean, it should be easier. I guess it will get easier someday. But even my brother here, he doesn't like the public transportation, so he drives a lot. like last night we went to a movie and then he took us home, which was a long drive, but it still makes sense to have a car at some point.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we should also point out that the movie last night.
Yeah, tell them about the movie.
It's RoboCop. We were in it in the theater, and for us, we downloaded an app, and what it is, it's Heckle Vision. The entire movie, you're putting up funny lines and stuff, making fun of the movie. So the entire theater is doing this, and it was good, fun times.
That's cool.
And obviously, having seen RoboCop
on the screen or just on your apps?
on the screen.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so everybody, when something funny would pop up, everybody in the room would laugh. So, and if you've seen RoboCop, you know that movie is ripe with fodder.
I have not seen it yet.
Oh my God, that was an awful movie.
You haven't seen the original RoboCop?
The original, yeah. I thought you were talking about the new one.
Oh no, it's the original.
That's what they need to do. Right there is just playing the old movies. They need to have movie theaters where they just play the old movies. And then having that makes it even better. It's got to be. But hell yeah, I mean, something like that, the movie theaters now, I'd go to the... And you see, you don't have to charge much for it. Let's say you charge like $2 to go see this movie, a person. It doesn't have to be a lot. Then you charge, a few bucks for the popcorn, which is almost free for them to make. Not much for the pop, which is almost free for them to make.
It was an old theater. It was called the Hollywood Theater. It was definitely a historic old theater. And I mean, it was such an eclectic experience to go into this theater that looked like it was furnished in the 20s. And, all this ornate furniture and everything and carpeting and the walls and everything. And then you get to your theater where you're going to sit, and they have all these super fancy cushy chairs, and they recline, and they've got tables out in front of some of the rows of chairs so that you can put your food and drinks down and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you watch this movie from the 80s with your cell phone out the entire time because you're texting. It was a very different experience, but the tickets to get in, they were $8 a piece, but the concessions were very reasonably priced. There was, like, we got a medium bag of popcorn for $4 and a 20-ounce of Diet Dr. Pepper for $2.
And I'm positive that the projector was just a computer laptop or something.
Yeah.
Running through a thing to project it on the screen. Yes.
Yeah, because you could see a mouse at the beginning, and they even had two people come out and introduce the movie and make fun of it and get the heckling going, basically, introducing it up on stage and everything, and then yeah, you watch the movie and it was very neat.
They apparently changed this movie monthly, so like RoboCop will be there for I don't know, a few more days or something, and then they'll have something else afterwards. So, you could have RoboCop this month and Goonies next month, or something worse than that.
And I think they only do it on Saturday nights, because I don't think it's a week. I don't think it's an all-week thing.
I think that would be too much. Yeah, if they were right. Often.
But yeah, the place was packed. So, and
they oversold the tickets. There were people standing the whole time.
There was a group of people standing off to the side, and now Mary did say that one or two of the people over there were the two people that introduced the movie, because they were the ones that their comments were in color.
Right.
That stood out more, But yeah, I thought I saw a group of people standing over there too. They told us when we bought our tickets, they're like, you better get in there quick and find a seat. And it was empty mostly when we got in there, but by the time Mary and I went to the bathroom and got some popcorn and came back, the theater was full. Oh, and I don't know if you have theaters like this, but we certainly don't. The theaters here serve a lot more food, and they serve beer and hard cider and wine.
Not around here, but there was one that me and DJ went to in
Silver screen! Woo! Uh-oh.
yeah.
Oh. You were talking and we couldn't hear you.
What?
You were quiet. We couldn't hear you for a minute.
Yeah. You're back, though.
Yeah, the Silver Screen Theater in Mississippi. That they sold alcohol, they sold food, and they had tables in there. The chairs were all on wheels, so you can go in there, and the first thing you do is you take another chair with wheels and you bring it around in front of you, so you can sit back and put your feet up, and then you have your table there because the mall was right across the street. So now we'd sit there with our Magic cards. We'd play Magic Gathering while we were waiting. I don't think I ever did that with DJ.
No. I think I was out of the Magic phase by that point because I got really into Magic for like a couple of months and then I was done with it.
It's a cool game, but it has a kind of thing built into it to make you have to keep buying cards, and that's the fact that each new set of cards are better than the ones before. So if you don't keep buying the new ones, you can't win against the people who are. So you have to keep buying the cards.
Well,
so now it's like
changing the rules too, so they have to have cards that fit the new rules.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to utilize those rules unless, like if a new rule comes out, it might be like flanking was a rule, where if you had a card with flanking that was against a card that did not have flanking, you got like a plus whatever against it. So you didn't have to have flanking, but if you didn't, they created another benefit for them who did. So I mean, and there was like you had to keep buying cards. So if you look at cards that you can buy now, based off the cards that you used to be able to get later, even though everybody likes the old ones because it was totally kick-ass, everybody loved their old decks, there's nothing they can do against newer ones. I mean, of course, there's always the exception to that rule, but
that's what happens. It's a racket.
It's a racket.
Hey, Bob.
What?
It's almost time to wrap up here.
Already?
Yeah, I know.
Let's tell him about the arcade.
Oh,
yeah, tell him about the arcade.
Go ahead, Bob, Tricia.
There's an arcade here called Ground Control, and we found it by another comic book shop, sort of, and it's a two-level building, and the whole up to top side has pinball machines, and we found a Doctor Who pinball machine. And they're like
pictures taken with it, right?
I took a picture of it, but they're all like they're classic games. I mean, this is like not a new pinball machine. It only has so many of the old Doctors on it.
Seventh Doctor. When the pinball machine was created, the Seventh Doctor was the newest Doctor. So that's where it stops. So I used to have a pinball simulator on a computer, and that was my favorite table. So I knew how to play the game. And then I'm all talking about how I know how to play this game great. And Tricia, she comes in, plays one game of it, and she scores 4 times the amount that I do. So I
was really good.
I retired because I wanted to go out on the bottom. Wait.
I've not really played, arcade games and stuff. That's never really been my thing, but damn, I had fun playing pinball. I played that one and a soccer one and a Star Wars one, and
we can go back.
I know we can. So and then
I love pinball.
So
you should check to see if you can't find that Doctor Who one to have like in your home. You need to have like.
When I own a pinball machine, that is going to be the one that I own.
And go ahead.
Goathead? He didn't call you names.
Oh, I thought you were saying something, DJ.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, we needed to use the bathroom in this arcade while we were there, and it was the craziest bathroom I have ever seen. It was almost pitch black. Like you could hardly see. The arcade itself was dark, and the bathroom was even darker. The floor was tiled to look like Pac-Man, like a Pac-Man game. And the sink was there was like a wall, that usually in a bathroom has maybe 4 sinks on it or something. Instead of having 4 individual sinks, it had one long trough
Yeah.
with like 4 different faucets on it. And the outside edge of this sink had lights on it that were like glowing, lit up, and would change through a rainbow of colors.
Wow.
And it it was the craziest.
I would take some video or pictures of that place, but because of the neon and the dark nature of everything, it's so hard to see anything in there. I don't think any of them would turn out.
I did take video of the sink changing color.
Okay.
I mean, you can see that if you know that I tell you it's a sink, you can see the color changing basically.
Yeah.
But
The laser tag place around here. Oh yeah, we have a laser tag place around here. It's in Fort Wayne, so it's a little ways away. But they've got like their bathroom there. It's pretty cool. It's also dark. It's lit up with. It's got black lights across the top, and then it has like lightning bolts. These very, very awesome lightning bolts that cover the walls. So you've got like they're all lit up, and it's a black light. You don't realize this, but it's like you're pissing with a lightsaber. I mean, it's like the toilet's glowing, and you've got this beam coming out of you that's glowing, and it's like that's kind of cool.
Wow.
It's kind of cool and disturbing at the same time because I mean, how often do you piss with the black light? I mean, even if you did, DJ could enjoy the awesomeness of pissing under a black light, but I mean, I think it would lose a lot if you're sitting down.
Right? But for our viewers, we're going to end the show here. But for Bob, you and I, we're gonna keep going because we'll talk a little bit more. I want to thank Kevin for joining us, and
for looking up the drink ingredients.
Yes, that was awesome. And we will see you. We're eyeballing next week, but we're going to play it by ear because I think that we're going to be traveling.
Next weekend is going to be out for me.
Oh,
next weekend is camping week. It's a Halloween camping.
2 weeks then. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That'll work.
And we're going to have a big 50th anniversary bash. We're going to do it.
Anniversary.
Yeah, whenever we hit the 50th one, we're going to do like a 5-hour show.
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
Right?
There is going to be an upcoming one here where we're also going to have to... I'm not sure the actual date. It'll be October... What's the weekend before Halloween?
That would be the weekend before Halloween.
Hi, Nico.
That's like the 20...
It's the 25th and 26th would be the Saturday, Sunday. So the 26th is what you're thinking?
Yeah. 24th, 25th, and 26th. That weekend, it's going to be me and some buddies hanging out in the woods.
With the zombies?
If only.
Oh, I thought it was zombie camping or whatever.
We got Bob a souvenir too, which we won't spoil, but we did get him a souvenir from the PDX.
We did.
Really?
Yes. We'll mail it to you.
Okay.
But for the viewers, until 2 weeks from now, this is DJ signing off.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye, Kevin. Oh, no. Continue broadcast. Oh, I almost hit the wrong button.